MCQ 50 Augustan Age. 1. Who wrote Gulliver's Travels? Jonathan Swift. 2. What are The Rape of the Lock and The Dunciad examples of? Mock epics. 3. Who wrote A Dictionary of the English Language? Samuel Johnson. 4. Which work is known for the phrase, man is born free, and everywhere he is in chains? The Social Contract, by Jean-Jacques Rousseau. Note, Rousseau is not English but his ideas influenced the period. 5. Who wrote A Modest Proposal? Jonathan Swift. 6. Who is the author of Clarissa? Samuel Richardson. 7. Who is the author of Tom Jones? Henry Fielding. 8. What is The Spectator known for? Periodical essays. 9. Who are the authors of The Spectator? Joseph Addison and Richard Steele. 10. Who wrote An Essay on Man? Alexander Pope. 11. What kind of poem is The Rape of the Lock? Mock epic. 12. Who wrote She Stoops to Conquer? Oliver Goldsmith. 13. What did the Licensing Act of 1737 require? Pre-approval of plays by the Lord Chamberlain. 14. Who wrote Elegy Written in a Country Churchyard? Thomas Gray. 15. What is the heroic couplet? A pair of rhyming iambic pentameters. 16. Who is known for the literary term, willing suspension of disbelief? Samuel Taylor Coleridge. Note, term coined later but relevant to the fictional works of the Augustan Age. 17. Who wrote The Beggar's Opera? John Gay. 18. What is Pamela, also known as Virtue Rewarded? 19. Who wrote The Vicar of Wakefield? Oliver Goldsmith. 20. What is the subtitle of Gulliver's Travels? Travels into several remote nations of the world. 21. Who wrote An Essay on Criticism? Alexander Pope. 22. Who coined the phrase eternal sunshine of the spotless mind? Alexander Pope, in Eloisa to Abelard. 23. Who wrote Rasselas? Samuel Johnson. 24. Who is the author of The Way of the World? William Congreve. 25. What are the years of the Augustan Age in English literature? Approximately 1700 to 1750. 26. What is theism? Belief in a rational God who does not intervene in the universe. 27. Who was the first English novelist? Generally considered to be Daniel Defoe. 28. Who wrote Moll Flanders? Daniel Defoe. 29. What is the Grub Street? London street associated with hack writers and low-quality literature. 30. Who wrote The Deserted Village? Oliver Goldsmith. 31. Who wrote Cato, a Tragedy? Joseph Addison. 32. What is Robinson Crusoe, an example of? Adventure novel. 33. Who wrote The Rape of the Lock? Alexander Pope. 34. What literary device is commonly used in Augustan literature? Satire. 35. Who wrote Religio Laici? John Dryden. Note, late 17th century, but relevant as a precursor. 36. Who is considered the greatest poet of the Augustan Age? Alexander Pope. 37. What form did Samuel Johnson strongly advocate for in poetry? The neoclassical form. 38. What did the term Augustan originally refer to? The period of Roman history when Augustus was emperor. 39. Who wrote The Seasons? James Thomson. 40. Who was the major political figure satirized as Walpole in literature of this period? Robert Walpole. 41. Who wrote The Life and Opinions of Tristram Shandy, Gentleman. Lawrence Stern note, published later but shares themes. 42. What did the Stamp Act of 1712 tax? Newspapers and pamphlets. 43. Who wrote Journal of the Plague Year? Daniel Defoe. 44. What is the Tatler? A periodical founded by Richard Steele. 45. Who is the author of Love for Love? William Congreve. 46. What kind of satire is a modest proposal? Juvenalian satire. 47. What is the Dunciad, a critique of? The decline of literary standards and intellectual life. 48. Who was the reigning monarch at the beginning of the Augustan Age? Queen Anne. 49. What is a lampoon? A harsh satire usually directed against an individual. 50. Who wrote Aruna Ko? Aphra Bent note, late 17th century, but relevant as a precursor.